Hello everybody, how y'all doing? So I wanted to come up here and introduce another type of series, okay, of entertainment. It's more like just publishing it out there, so I'm doing some sweet things. So I already got the cards, I already kind of laid out. So what type of reading is this going to be? This is like I'm going to call it maybe code breaking. But it's like dealing with synchronicity in numbers. And it's so many codes, so trust and believe me, this is like the disclaimer part of it. What I'm about to say is only a temporary fix to the way I'm understanding it. Other people will understand it different ways, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want nobody to feel like it is. So meaning that when I do this and a number comes up and you have a different code that come up for you for some reason, recognize it, pay attention. It might be a trigger for you to decipher that code. Okay? Now, when I do this type of reading, I usually do it with a regular deck of cards. Okay? I just want to show that. It's just a plain old regular deck of cards. And then I have another deck of cards that I use. This is one of them. And I don't have the box over here for the other one, but the other one is called Keepers of the Light. Okay? And for me personally, I chose these decks because they don't have numbers on them and the card decks do. Okay? This is all about using, a form of alchemy and divination being combined together. Alchemy deals with science, meaning that if you go all the way back to the basic periodic table that you see in physics, chemistry, and everything, the numbers that's there as far as like oxygen, hydrogen, iron, and even when you go to and pick up vitamins, you see certain codes, D13 and all of that. So that's alchemy aspect of it right there. The divination aspect is the tools that I'm using. And it's incorporating my intuitive ability to tap into certain codes. I'm telling you, all just aside, I'm not going to have every code. Okay? So I just want you to enjoy the entertainment. I just wanted to do a message out there to help people who go through these things and they see the synchronicity, and you might not want to pay a tarot reader, or you don't look at it from a side of a tarot reader. You might want to go talk to your pastor, or you might want to go talk to somebody else, or you just might plain on ignore it because it's just not something that you care about. Okay, so just to put that out there. So just to put a little clip up in here, because I want my people on Instagram to know what's going on. Okay. So the numbers that I'm working with that have codes is, the first one is going to be the number 7. The second one is going to be within the number 9. The last one is going to be within the number 1. Okay. So those are the ones that I'm going to be working with. If you'd like to come and be interested, because I want to push my views, I'm just going to publish it over there on my YouTube channel, Resilient Reaper Tarot. So I know I don't push my views over there for sure. So I just want to make sure it's an equal type of platform. So y'all can come and check it out over there. I'll publish the whole full video. And then you'll get to see how and the message is going to come out. Okay? Look to see the view reviews over there. Okay. For everybody, that, coming in straight from YouTube and from Instagram, let's go ahead and continue on with it. So, the first number is coming up with 7. So let me explain something about synchronicity and working with, what's the right word? A singular. Or working with a monotheistic type of code. 7 have its own baseline. It's very much in higher thinking, spirituality world. It's kind of on that baseline. It's also within a baseline of adversity, because being that it's on a spiritual type of frequency, it doesn't mean that you're going to understand it. So that's why adversity kind of resonates with it. Now, what type of codes that this 7 could be broken down in? First of all, it could be $11,000, and $11,500. Now, you could be getting that as a reward, or it could be a deposit that you might have to put down on a house, or it might be the total amount of the car that you want. And just because you recognize and you've seen that, you might not be considering the code 7. Another simpler way is the 7 standing out by itself. It could come in 777. It just comes in a repetitive kind of thing, meaning that, for example, if you drop a rock in the water, it makes a repetitive ripple effect. Okay, even though the rock probably sunk, the water still feels the vibration from it. So if the 7 is standing in a monotheistic independent, it could come off in any multiple ways, would have us develop triples, quads, sextiles, all of those kind of things, because the 7 is just running on and on and on. Okay, it could come in as simple as 2 numbers, as being as 1 and 6. 16 could be something that's haunting you. Okay, it could be, you know what I'm saying? So it could be that simple. It could come in 3 numbers. It could be like 403. Or it could come in as let's see, 9, like it came out now, 917. Okay, in a sense. Well, hold on, did I get that right? Yeah, but you'll be doing it on a subtraction type of aspect. So everything is not about addition or subtraction. That's the point of alchemy. Because like I say, in a periodically chart, it's a lot of things. Some things you have to multiply. Some things you have to divide. So in this code breaking of 7, the main primary frequency that I'm pulling out on this 7, it doesn't mean that what I'm trying to say in this code breaking process of the message that I'm pulling out is a frequency for me, a major frequency of gratitude. So this 7 is coming with adversity, okay? Because I'm trying to know what type of energy it is holding. So it's coming in with gratitude. Gratitude comes with adversity. It's a major thing. So it's like 7 is not something that's going to come easy. The messages might be difficult to process. The messages might come through sooner, and it might have to play out within a period of time. That's also getting a connection with higher knowledge and higher knowing, and getting into a communication skill. That's also a format of like your prayers getting answered and you believe, and why some people tithe and do things, why people part of GoFundMe, different ways that we invent our economical construct of non-profit organizations, and they come with adversity, meaning that somebody might go to them for help. Say you went to a non-profit organization to go for help for your rent, but you're one of these people that you didn't get the help because the funds ran out. A lot of them function under the number 7. A lot of them function under a number 7 type in the materialistic world, because that's non-profit organizations function under gratitude. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is if you come and watch this and you got a situation where you might need to go to one of them and go to an organization maybe that help file, some cases or whatever, things don't go out your way. It doesn't mean, it just mean that it's not going your way in the physical form. But the energy is going to challenge you on your gratitude. It's going to challenge you why this physical morality means more than your spirituality. That's what I mean by adversity. Now, some things going to be smooth sailing, meaning that, people who might have plenty of luck, you might see them always around being lucky, like those people, in the state of gratitude. But some people might know them and be like, they won't even give 50 cents to somebody asking for 50 cents because they feel like they're going to walk in there and get something to drink. It doesn't mean that person don't have gratitude. If their gratitude is aimed at number 7, but not aiming at things below the number 7. And it also depends on what type of frequency they're in. For example, if they stuck in like a frequency of 777, well, they still being judged. Just, that other person that was asking for that 50 cent could have been the one, and because they all in that frequency of 777, the judgment is consisting on at that time. So, usually 9 out of 10 people who do ask for money usually win in that situation because they're more calmer. And they know that they really need it regardless whether they're going to get a drink, but they respect the fact that you said no. Their gratitude actually outweighs yours. So later on, sometime in your course of your life, all the luck that you have when you go and tell somebody, oh, I got to spend all this money, man. My car broke down. So you have the luxury and the assets to be able to repair these things, but you don't consciously realize that you still hoard money. You classify yourself to be somebody that invests money. So when you feel like you are investing money and you having that kind of luck, it doesn't matter to you because you're doing self-gratification. That's not a universal gratitude. But it plays roles. It's just like having love taps, okay? And because it's a strong frequency, it's not so personal with this type of card. It's just one that walking into these different pockets that's existing inside of the earth plane. And it's just one of these frequencies. So it's like a frequency of keeping reality going for people to be able to go shopping, entertain, and all of that kind of stuff, because all of that functions under gratitude. When you're going out and you're trying to enjoy yourself, all of that is there. So it's a dominant frequency. So meaning that if the code breaks down, like I said, in other ways for you, and you're going through maybe a stressful situation, and the code breaks down like, what is it? Let's see. 1, 2, 4. So the 4 could be standing for your body. Your body. What's going on with your body? Where you're going to reflect back to 1 and 2. Your conscious mind, your conscientious mind is feeling a level of stress. And then your subconscious mind, your feminine energy is trying to discover how to alleviate the stress that's going on with 4. So that's still being in the 7 and being into the gratitude frequency, okay? So I just wanted to try to explain that a little bit of how the energy is coming up. So I got clarifying cards, okay? My clarifying cards is with my Keepers of the Light Oracle, because they don't come with numbers neither. So I didn't want nothing with numbers besides the deck that I wanted to use to not overblock me with too many different messages to come out, but to keep it at a constant frequency on whatever I need to tap in the right way. So I got 2 cards for it. Okay, and I'm like, each one of them, I just got to say this before I get into the rest of the messages. Universe, for real, my spirit guides, thank you very much. I love this pattern. I'm hoping that I interpret it the right way, Because each one of the cards for each one of them came out with a divine masculine and a divine feminine figurative, which is like, could be represented many ways, and I like it very much, okay? For me, just overall. So I might resonate it that way. But try not to go, well, make sure that whatever your beliefs is, especially if you're not going to ask me questions, make sure that you stay in your safe zone as the messages resonate, okay? I wish that the best, Shanti, for everybody when I do my messages. That's why I keep my tattoo on me. Because where I make a mistake at not saying it, I bring it to mean it from my flesh to my soul to my spirit to travel beyond me. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright? So, one of the cards that came out is Green Tara. Supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. Now, that's just reading this on the card. Okay? And yeah, cord cutting is something that does something to me, but it is somebody human that wrote these words. Trust me. But I interpret them to represent the cord cutting part, meaning that the universe is shifting and you helping the universe shift your destiny path, which works good with number 7. Now, the other card that came out is the Divine Director. Notice how the synchronicity goes from the supreme protection to the Divine Director. Intervention and purpose. And then it got Green Tara. Like, you got two ones already up in here with the A. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to go that far. But what I'm saying is, Divine Director is intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Knowing that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So just like I was sitting there saying, it is somebody human that wrote that, and it's still humans who still do their own form of cord cutting. And yes, you could be catalyzed by, like Green Tara is saying, you're getting catalyzed by the protection that you have, and cord cutting is actually being achieved, because cord cutting does work. I'm not going to say humans doing it don't work. I always say they do. I just believe it put knots and create a little bit of traffic patterns, problems. So it does work. So it depends on who's cord cutting it. Once again, that goes into like what I was saying with the ripple effect of number 7. And then what is the baseline numbers of it? And another form of, if the spiritual world is calling this, you're trying to figure out, for example, like I was saying, somebody could have the 421. You got stress. They hear it. This is the baseline of it. The baseline of it is maybe you were sitting here talking about more protection. Okay? In a sense. Or maybe they heard it as you need protection because of the way your stress is crying out. So the divine intervention and a purpose coming in the situation, which could be triggering your 1 and 2 together. This could, this could be 1 and this could be 2, and you could be the 4. So the 1 is you looking at the situation, which is in maybe the divine, the intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. So meaning that the reason you thinking about alleviating this problem is because that divine intervention. But you won't really paying attention to that code number to let you know. Because maybe you're stressed, or like I said, you was not looking at it that way. It was a number that you did keep seeing, but you just didn't break it all the way down. And then, and you get up every day and you like, thank you for another day. I hope that when I go say it's at work, I hope when I go to work, the stress will not be there. Give me the strength to make it through. I need to pay my bills. So there you go. You're working in a sequence of gratitude. So the code might change. You can go all the way back to the baseline of just having a regular 7 at that moment, because you're tapping into your higher self, your higher communication level to talk about those things. Okay? And so maybe when your day go on, your code might switch. It might not stay all the time at 7. It might switch to another one. Okay? But that's just to let, and these, to help people out with it. So I'm going to go ahead to the next one. The next one was, like I said, number 9. Okay, and what type of energy number 9 is serving is peace. Okay? So how can 9 come? Well, shit. My 9 just came with my team losing 33-3. It's a 9. Peace. And I was peaceful with it. You feel, if people get what I'm saying, I was in the frequency of peace with it. Now, everybody ain't. I mean, I was out today, a couple of people was like, did they even score a touchdown? Oh, man. I know that got to make you feel some kind of way. But if I'm walking in the frequency of peace, they could be walking in the frequency of gratitude. Why could they be walking in the frequency? If they're kind of happy that my team lost, then they feel grateful. And it is their intellectual thought of how they feel. Even though it can be some perceived as negative energy, but at the same time, I mean, the reciprocal effect of masculine and feminine energy is there, because it's almost like it could be perceived as negative, like I said, on a 4-2-1 basis. If my subconscious don't want to reject that information that's trying to come through, well, then it's going to go back to the 1, because then the 4 and the 2 is working together. And that, it make a 6, but the 1 is still there. Because I'm ejecting that masculine thoughts from entering, which is entering any further into my subconscious realm. So it's still coming off. It's just going more to 4 + 2 - 1. So, and then when it comes to it, I could just be going to with the 9, with me being in the 9 stage of it, the 4-2-1 + 2. So, okay, 2 and 2 just jump 4, and we left with a 4 and a 4. Because the subconscious put up another firewall to prevent that from going through, because it wanted peace. So in order for it to get peace, the subconscious sent the message back, which could be why you transferred into the code 9. And like I was saying with the 7, the code can change. So you might see something that represent 9. So my code could have went to 4-2-2, 4-2-1-2. And that would have been a 9. To keep me peaceful. Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? That really meaning something to? It means more to you, and that's my team. Okay. I don't have to entertain that if I want to stay in the peace energy. So, it's a very strong one. So it's accessible. It's just as strong as the number 7. It's an accessible thing. It's not nothing that is not accessible to me. And if it was already given to me off a game, then why leave out of it? And then drop down a higher level. I mean, drop down to gratitude. Or, yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to put out examples. Okay? The code could be 4-4-1. Meaning that, okay, maybe meaning that, say for example, recently you ran into somebody that you had a problem with, and y'all did decide to, y'all in the process of trying to learn how to squash that shit. So the 4-4-1 could be coming up. Because it's two parties up in the situation that's trying to get the same issue, which is the one, the thought pattern, what's on your conscious mind, to get solved, to be something of a resolution of peace. So it haven't really hit yet. And then the code could change to 325. And 324, which could be representing that, okay, y'all came to a treaty and you still in the 9. Just to put it out there for consideration. Now, the 9-9 whole piece, it could be like, you could still be defensive because maybe you're a kind-hearted person. Maybe you're in the mood of tired of wearing your heart on your sleeve. It don't mean that if you constantly saying 999, well, you could be in that rhythm also with it. And your peace is within inside of yourself because you're exhausted on dealing with stuff on the external. So you're not wearing the 999s out. But you could see those codes somewhere, and those could be your moments that not realizing it. But you could also have an epiphany, because if you're really in the heart of it, it might just make you change your mind. You might be thinking about going to a store, and then the 999 whole frequency then took over you. You might have then got sidetracked, drove past the store, and now when you come back conscious, the code didn't change. But you now is making you question, like going to the 441. Not realizing that your conscious and your subconscious, your conscious anxious and your conscious mind is now deliberating within inside of you on whether you should turn around or go to the next available store. Or whether you baffled that you couldn't even believe that you didn't remember, and you kept telling yourself the whole time you was going to stop there. So it could be the baffled energy that's coming through and determining, was I really supposed to go there? So one of the 4s is questioning you on your foundation of where you really want to go to next and how you want to do it. And the 4 and the 1 is working more together. While you trying to stay focused on making that decision with the other 4. Okay? So the cards that came out for this one was Krishna. We got devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Then we have Freya. Phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. So both of these energies kind of go good with the example of what I was saying of you just so happened went past the store. Now you done came out the days, especially with Freya. The illusion is now coming open. You didn't even realize you went through the illusion. It just make you use a different choice of words. You didn't realize you drifted off, which is still the illusion. You within the illusion. You know what I'm saying? But you say, I didn't realize I drifted off. But your devotion is still there because you still want to go to a store because you need to go there. So it's not like your devotion is not there. Your determination is not there for it. Okay? So, the code can be used different ways of saying that, okay, some people that's naive on them, right? The code could have been flashing past you all day. So, maybe today, you know what I'm saying, this thing came past you, and maybe you got a 5. Let's see. Maybe you got a 5-6, a 5-6-2. Okay? So you got an 11 that is going on, right? But if the 2 is meant to be subtracted, that means like somebody, you know what I'm saying? It could be like a type of energy of like somebody really is coming into your peace circle. And you need to either maybe learn a lesson, because it's originally started off with 562. So you got to figure out what's those sequences, meaning it could be an 8. It's still a lesson because it's something that's really swerving. It's a connection that's here. It's a message that's inside of the body in this whole situation right here. And it might be one that you catch where you're going to definitely get caught with it. But when it releases itself, that's when the 5 will come out. It's now time for you to handle the data that has been placed upon you. Now that data could be a situation of negativity. Like I said, somebody came and decided to interrupt your space. It could be something of positively. But I'm just breaking down a different way things can come to you. So, okay, now I'm going to get to the last one. We have number 1, okay? So, and this one's coming with unconditional love. Now, this is more in a free will type of frequency. It's not it's not a pinpoint in one with unconditional love. This type of frequency is free will, is okay, with these two frequencies going on, this is more like the actionary frequency. Okay? This is the action, which masculine energy usually resonate with actionary things. So this one is very actionary. This one is actionary. It's very actionary. It's your actions, it's your move. Everything you doing is in unconditional love. Now the responses of it, meaning that somebody taking it as unconditional love might not necessarily be perceived that way. But when you take your actions, you doing it under those conditions, whether it lacks the substance of the spiritual universe or not. It's just from human law and up. So this is like very manipulative. You know, this type of color card, especially with me doing it this way, it's transformative. It's always got a swirl to it. But with it having a number 1, it's like more swirling. If I go to the tarot deck that helps some people out, it'd be swirling with the wands and the air energy. So it's very actionary. The action is very strong in it. Okay, meaning that it's like a wildflower. Like a wild forest fire. Now what keeps it going is air, the wind will help it keep going. It's like those two things working together in this type of physics. It's this type of alchemy of it, okay? So the cards that came out to clarify is Gaia, Earth connection, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. That's funny that I said fire and people be talking about the Amazon, all these forest fires that's going on, and then I'm into the zone so much, even though the cards came out, I just don't delve into it because I get caught up in the curiosity before talking. So I try not to do it and just, get them out, walk away until I'm ready to hit record, and then come back to them. But it's funny how I said it though. It's like great. Also, the image just brings me all back to it at once. So that's that one, and then we have Satana Kamari, light activation. Shine your light. Your eternal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So once again, this is tricky energy, okay? Because, oops, see, the masculine one already fell on the floor. I can't reach it, so I need to walk over there and get it. See, I know it's tricky energy, that's why it fell. That's why it felt the way it did. It's like, it's that action energy. It made me get up and do something. You know what I'm saying? It's very actionary. And I was explaining that to you. And it's like how the card just... And I was talking about, the masculine energy is very strong on it. And that's what I mean. It's like an energy that comes that's very in your actions. And yeah, that was unconditional love, believe it or not, because I love doing what I do. So it was unconditional love. It wasn't no problem for me to get up and walk around there. So even though it don't seem like and way we perceive unconditional love to be, when it comes to codes and the universe, it takes deep perception. Everybody don't have it. It's okay. Trust me. A lot of people don't believe me on it. You don't really always want to have it. For real. I trip off of people who really want it. Like, no, you don't. You don't. Just because I look cool with it don't mean that I'm proud of it. And I don't want to speak of it like that at the same time, because it's like not loving who I am. So I just keep it all to myself and just listen to people express their desires, and it's just wow. So, and that's like shine your light. You know, people would be like, shine your light. That's a tricky thing, because I mean, if I don't want to, I don't want to. If I do, I do. So this is a very actionary card, is what I'm trying to get to the point on. Okay, and that's why Gaia is coupling with it in this transformative way of it. Okay, in the actionary part, because it's like, okay, I might be the one that put I love you unconditionally too. So I might put roadblocks in your way to think about what you about to do. And that's how you'll shift off and go back to one and be in that masculine energy. And the light will go off. It's like the old saying, the light bulb went off in your head. And that's what that card is basically saying. Okay? So it's, you know, and one could get broken down many a ways too. You know what I'm saying? Because you can still have the 111 frequency. But if it's 1 minus 1 minus 1, you're going to get 1 if it's 3 ones. Okay? If you got 1, then minus 1, then minus 1, you're going to drop back down to 1. And that could be just you calculating the different ideas. That's you just debating in the unconditional, because it's transformative. That's giving you the analytical ability to say, okay, that's not my option. That's my option. That's not my option. So that's what I mean by one is very easy to produce. Okay? It is in many ways. It might not seem like it is. Like you could get 908. 908 could still go to a 1 if it's subtracted. So you have to figure out how it comes down. 1 is easy. We just don't realize how easy it is. 1 is very easy. It's too easy. It's tricky. Like all the numbers are so easy that they're tricky. That's why we always that's why we call it overall the system of numbers on a basic level, where people who is not like me and like come to see me, the basic one you do it on is math. And then if you go to school for business management and any school that you go through, you know your numbers, because it's either you need to know your numbers when you're taking a test. So whether you work with them on a constant basis, so they always hold in memory, and codes is always going through. So that's why I say code breaking is like so many of them. So I limit mine. That's why I want to use no tarot cards. But I do hope all of y'all enjoyed this. Until the next time, y'all stay positive and be safe.